Welcome back, everyone. This is very unique. We don't have many "we've never done this before" moments on the show, but we have never done this.
That is right. We have a silhouette artist here today. Karl Johnson is joining us now. How are you, Karl?
I'm wonderful.
How are you, man?
So silhouette art is kind of a lost art. I remember my aunt used to do it, but tell us exactly, what is it?
It's it actually predates the camera by a couple hundred years. So people living in 18th century Europe who wanted to have an inexpensive portrait made would have visited a silhouette artist, you know, if they couldn't afford a painting or what have you. So a silhouette artist would just sit there and cut out their portrait.
And I was going to say, the tools of the trade are fairly basic. As a matter of fact, you have them both on you and around you.
Yeah.
Explain the story of the scissors, because this also explains how you learnt your trade and how you learnt your art.
I didn't grow up with my dad, actually, but I went to visit him when I was a kid, and he was doing these at the time. And he had these old scissors that he was casting off. They were about 40 years old to him, and then he gave them to me. This was in whatever. I started professionally in '85, but I've used the same pair of scissors ever since.
Never sharpened, which surprises me that they still are functional.
So, but how important is that? Have you ever done it with another pair of scissors? Just
Never, no. I have a backup pair, but knock on gold,
some sort of casted golden egg that it won't happen.
Yeah, they won't break. They're really loose.
Is that feel, though, and that connection? Because we're going to see some B-roll of you working with us, and it's very... it seems very spur of the moment, very inspired when you're doing it.
It's not me, it's the scissors. I'm along for the ride. So.
Okay, we're looking at you doing the silhouettes of Michael and myself this morning. I was really surprised how quickly you do it.
Yeah, about 60 to 90 seconds generally when I'm in a crowd.
Right.
You know,
and you're doing it at Hip Baby. And having kids as subjects, when you're telling somebody to sit still, I'm not good at it. Is it more difficult to do kids because they won't sit still? They always probably want to peek, right?
Thank God for the iPad. I used to use a pinwheel back in the day, you know. But then
look at this.
Right, you get a lot of kids with lips sticking out because they're blowing on the pinwheel. But yeah, we use an iPad, or the mom jiggles the keys for the babies and that kind of thing. So it's all good.
Because it took a minute or two. That was it. Well, let's look at ours if we can. Mike's seen his. He thought did you really think this was Helen Mirren?
No, I was just kidding. So this gives you an example, and literally, I mean, sort of 60 to 90 seconds. I don't even know if it was that fast, but
Mike, your hair looks fantastic.
Thank you. That is what my hair looks like, though. I've seen silhouettes.
It is.
And who is that ravishing lovely?
No, thank you, Michael. That's.
And if you ever quarrel, you can hang them like that.
I think they should. They look better back to back.
How important is speed, or how important is it sometimes to not have speed? I mean, depending on
well, yeah. I mean, because I'm doing quite a few kids typically in a day. You know, they don't have a really long attention span, so I have to come to them pretty quick. So,
not to give away secrets, but I mean, that's so beautiful. We're just looking at a few of them now, but
thanks.
Not to give away any secrets, but are there basic building blocks of this art that?
Yeah, there's a lot of geometry. You know, because I do each feature at a time. So I'm coming up from the bust, and I've got the chin, and so you'll see me when I cut them. I'm looking down. I get a feature, look down, make that shape, go up again, and then kind of maintain a kind of a aspect ratio as I do it, so that it's not completely out of proportion.
And do you always start in the same spot, on the paper?
Yeah, right in the middle of the chest, right at the bottom of the paper, and just work my way around. So.
We're looking at some other footage here of you looking at doing some kids as well. So this is what people can experience at Hip Baby?
Yeah. Takes, again, any children, all children are welcome, even the squirmy ones.
Even the squirmy ones.
So yeah.
Very brave.
It's so cool.
Now, you have been featured in all sorts of publications, from Martha Stewart to Oprah, our BFF. But you've also done some celebrities, so let's have a look at some of these and see if Mike and I can figure out who they are.
Are we pop quizzing?
We're going to pop quiz.
This is a famous senator who lost the election.
Oh, that's John Kerry.
That's right, John Kerry. And,
we actually have very similar hair, John Kerry.
Yes, you do.
I'm looking at it as we go. Is this mine? Oh, John Kerry and I. Look.
You guys can hang.
John, I'm your son.
What a way to find out. We'll bring it for Jerry Springer tomorrow.
What are you doing?
He was a guest at Drew.
J-Lo.
Yeah.
Is that J-Lo?
That's J-Lo, yeah.
That's
beautiful. She has her own logo on her card, so she's the only one that wanted to do that. This is this one you probably won't get. Her hair was a little messy at the time.
Who is that?
That's Tom Hanks' wife, Rita Wilson.
Rita Wilson.
Yeah,
beautiful.
I love the detail in the hair. Wait, I want to slow down on these because it's so beautiful. There's just some really.
Wait. And who is this one?
That's Reese Witherspoon.
Reese Witherspoon.
She's gorgeous.
Do you go into people's homes? I mean,
yeah. This was at Colin Hanks' wedding, and then she hired me to do her wedding when she got married. So,
for all the wedding guests.
Yeah. I do all the wedding guests, and they put them in a big scrapbook.
Oh, isn't that a nice idea?
Yeah, did Tom Cruise's birthday party. And
do you ever get intimidated when you're sitting with someone like that?
You know, he was so warm and inviting, and Katie was my assistant for the day. She pasted them all in the book, and I would just hand them to her. Yeah, they're just really, really nice people. She gave me his birthday cake and her Tupperware to take home. So.
Oh, that's so sweet.
It's got to be kind of fascinating. I mean, to be in that situation, because this is, you know, once again, that idea of capturing someone's soul, their silhouette, you know, who they are, because it's interesting in this, right? Because it is in such relief that it does capture part of personality and people. You can see it right away who they are.
Yeah, people tell me that. You know, I don't know if it's generally what I'm doing specifically is trying to maintain as much of a likeness as I can.
Yeah.
And I guess in that their personality comes out in a way.
Because you never think of people. I mean, as I'm looking at you guys and as I look around at people, you never think of people in silhouette. Right? You're always sort of thinking.
People always look right at the camera.
But, yeah, to be able to recognize them right away in silhouette is interesting because obviously some portion of your brain sees people.
Yeah. I judge people predominantly on their silhouette. For one thing, I was born blind in one eye, so I see two-dimensionally anyway. So that's kind of how I see the world. You
Interesting.
Know? Yeah.
The fix is in, man. You had an advantage.
I know. My dad was like, wow, you got that down already.
Do you find that this is getting more popular? I mean, in the digital age, people don't have tangible photographs, and it's so nice to have something like this that you can hold, keep.
That's a great point. Yeah, I think so, because a lot of times when you have an image made online or something like that, you don't even know if a human being is actually creating that for you, you know. So I think people really respond to these because there's no doubt when a mom brings her child in to have her silhouette done that it's being made by hand by someone right there.
Yeah, the human touch.
Yeah, so I stay really busy. My popularity's increased exponentially, you know, over the last few years.
And what a wonderful keepsake.
I was asking you before whether you travel a lot, and you do spend a lot of time on the road doing this.
Yeah, I ping pong all over the place. So
that's pretty cool.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Absolutely fascinating. We want to mention that Karl will be creating silhouettes at Hip Baby in Kitsilano on Friday, July the 20th, and also at the Victoria location on Tuesday, July 24th. And for more information, you can go to the website that's on the screen for you right now.
Can I keep this one a dad?
Sure,
okay.
Okay.
Dad, your dad, I was going to say Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey, that's your other dad.
John Carrey.
Steven Spielberg.
Oh my God, that is...
been hanging out with some pretty cool people.
Look at, no kidding, look at the detail on the chin. The goatee.
And we're going to take a quick break.